By whom?
Approved by myself.
So you are the one who approved the payment?
Yeah.
Wow. All the payments, 9.2?
I can't ascertain because I didn't have access to these documents. I mean, I've not had access to them for the last 7 years.
Okay, so the contract was executed by Professor Ayiro. Yes, Honorable. Okay, now you may proceed.
Procurement person, you were there during this period?
Honorable Chair, I was not in also during that specific period.
But since you knew you're coming to this meeting, looking at your procurement files,
yes, Honorable.
What was the actual value to the last thing that was paid?
Honorable Chair, Honorable House, the payments that were done were really for the contract, not on the variation. There were 3 fee notes. The first fee note, Chair, was paid 2 point particular amount. Then the second fee note also came to around 2.6 or so. So the third fee note.
Procurement.
Yes,
say 2 point so or so. We are talking about public funds. Be clear and specific about the amounts you are addressing.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Chairman, let him finish. For the benefit of time, just rush us through. What is the total you paid, or what is the total on your file?
The total amount paid, Honorable Chair, is 4.7. That was the contract, part of the contract, not really the variations.
So in your
no variation, Chair, were executed and even paid for.
So variation is not in your file?
Yeah, it's not in the file. There were only applications for variations that never went through.
So again, that will bring us to the vouchers, so that we really understand what was paid. Or are you trying to tell this House
yes,
that sometimes procurement is done in the executive office, in the VC's office? Sometimes you're out of the loop. Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
because the professor says, the former vice chancellor says, he paid it plus at a 3% variation. In your files, you're saying that was not sorted out.
Okay, Honorable Chair, I think when it comes to payments fully, the documents are really in finance, but I'm privy to them as part of, yeah.
But any payment is initiated by procurement, getting the receipt note, etc., attaching the PO and the remaining schedule. Yeah. How would finance pay without you initiating any payment?
They are there, and I'm part of the system in terms of doing the payment, Honorable Chair. The issue here is that, again, this particular work was done in some years that some of us came in the other day, but we have the records and the payment forgers. As I knew I was coming here, went through and realized that there were 3 fee notes. One of them was not planned. One of them was never planned at all. But the first 2 were paid, Honorable Chair.
So you're disputing
the issue here is that, again, this particular work was done through some years that
you are disputing the auditor.
But we have
because it has consequences. So I want us to,
as I knew I was coming here,
the same page,
went through and realized that there were 3 fee notes. One of them was not
so
Chair.
in your view,
the
opinion of the auditor
first 2
is not right. We've had this before, and we've gone that route, and it's not. It did not end well.
Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, that on the records that I have, is that variations were not paid.
So you are putting to us that no variation was paid.
Yeah, they were only applied for.
You are on record that no variation was paid.
I'm certain, sir. I'm certain.
You are certain?
Yeah.
Suppose we challenge you, otherwise?
Up to where I am and what I know, to my knowledge, up to where I am now, is that only 4.7.
Relax.
Honorable Chair.
Just relax. Auditor. No, first before the auditor. Professor, did you pay for this?
Sorry, Chair. I had written for access to these documents, but I just want to read this.
Were you given access to these documents?
No.
Why?
I'm seeing them now. But
No, wait, why? Prof, why didn't you facilitate that? So you wanted the professor just to come and, or you wanted him to fail?
No, Honorable Chair, I think if you can confirm, Prof, you received an invitation.
just a letter of invitation from Moi University and also from the secretary, but there was no documentation.
Did you ask for it?
Yes, I did.
Through whom?
In my letter to Honorable Chair, to your secretariat, that I was pleading for the document so that I would prepare myself.
Did you raise it to the VC?
No, the VC's letter came after I had gotten communication to come here. So I thought it was just a follow-up.
So did you pay? Do you remember paying?
Yeah, I just want, Chair, with your permission, seeing these documents, a payment was done on 5th of May of 2,013,000 Kenya shillings, which I approved on signature, and this was under certificate number given to me by the architect. The second payment was on 31st of July, 2017, as Professor Kosgei had said, of 2,687,000. Again, paid against a certificate and issued to me, detailed by the quantity surveyor of the university. And I approved the payment on 16th of August, 2017. That's the last. I did also, I would like to inform this Honorable House that I did approve the variation, but it was never carried to payment stage, and then I left Moi University. So that's my position.
Auditor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What we are saying is that the amount which had already been paid as per our report is 4,818,280, which of course, as we have stated earlier, was 92% complete.
Auditor, was the variation paid?
The variation, no, they paid 4.8 million.
Was the variation paid?
They didn't pay.
Okay. Is the project complete?
The project is not complete, it's stalled.
Prof, why would you pay for a project more than what the contractor has done?
Honorable Chair, by this time, the project was complete in the initial contract. And so we then wanted a pantry house and an office, 2 buildings next to the gate. That's what caused the variation.
No, Prof.
Yes.
The auditor is talking of the monies you paid.
Yes.
The project you paid for is left at 60%. We now not going into that variation.
Okay.
The auditor is talking about the project, the initial project.
I'm not sure. That's why I really needed documentation, because I also know there was no way you...
What we are trying to say, Prof, you overpaid for a project, one that was not completed, but you paid the full amount.
I cannot ascertain because I don't have that documentation.
Prof, the auditor is telling you, he's our prosecutor.
Okay.
What do you mean, okay, Professor?
I'm saying if that's the auditor's position, I abide by it, but I know this last payment that we were doing, the contractor had actually done what was initially expected of him.
Auditor? The 60%, is it the overall including variation or the initial contract?
The 60% is on the initial contract. It's
So the
not
gate
over.
was not finished?
It was not finished, but the payment was
Full.
actually full payment.
Prof, it is either we have a gate or there's no gate. Professor Kosgei, is there a gate?
Honorable Chair, members, we have a gate. That,
This specific one,
this specific one is still standing.
is it complete?
No. I think there's an aspect to it.
Wait,
Chairman.
is it complete?
No.
Professor Ayiro.
Chairman, possibly when he is answering the same,
It shouldn't be combining with all other matters which pertains to that gate. Because we have been meant to understand that the gate was abandoned, and there must have been a quality, whatever quality surveyor of the university, and the architects too, who had come up with this gate. And they knew that the gate was supposed to be placed where, so that at least the university cannot incur any loss in case of it happens to be either on the Keller Road or any other place. And the professor at the same time tell us why he paid for a complete job, yet the job was not complete as you're asking him. And then also tell us why he decided to build a gate on a place which was not viable or which was at the wrong place. Because we understand from the current professor, the reason of why the gate was moved to another site is that this one was found to be standing on a road, public road. And there were surveyors and other qualified people in the same university, of which the university is also teaching the same degrees. And it happened that now, he behaved like just a peasant in the village who can just plant a building in his farm wherever he wants. And the professor also give us that idea of why the gate was moved.
Prof, it's alleged that the location of the gate was wrong, and since when, have you been there since you left?
Yes, of course. May I clarify that?
No, have you been there?
Since I left Moi, no?
Yes.
No.
That gate was abandoned, and with an allegation that the location was bad on Akera Road or something. Then another one was constructed.
Sure.
Now, the concern of the committee is, didn't you have people to do some reconnaissance or something of that kind?
Chair, even
Yes.
more, a more important question is, normally in government, when before payment, there's supposed to be an evaluation team to go and look at the work completed and stages, and then report, and then now tell the Vice Chancellor to pay. I don't know whether there were these stages, because I'm very sure there were two stages when you pay. Did you pay on the recommendation of a committee or a subcommittee?
can you answer all those questions?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. First of all, we need to get the picture clear. When I went to Moi University, there was a gate. And this gate we are talking about was built where that gate is. So if there are other evaluations that place the gate elsewhere, anybody who has gone through Moi University knows where the gate was placed by the founders of that university. And that's where we put the gate. We did not move a meter away from there. And I got this from the planning and the master plan of the university. If there were other shenanigans about the location of a gate, I submit I would not know.
Prof, shenanigans is not parliamentary language.
I withdraw.
There's no shenanigans here. Nobody is shenaniganing.
No, I withdraw. But I'm saying,
And apologize, please.
I apologize, Chair.
Proceed.
So we put that gate where the existing gate, where the original gate was, superimposed, restructured it, but in the same location. If Kera and other documents indicated that the gate was off, then that was done 30 years, 40 years before some of us went there.
Okay, go to the next question.
That's my position. on the payments, I would like us to, and that's why I was seeking for the documents. And for example, the letter of 5th May 2017 from the chief architect of the university to the vice chancellor, forwarded here with, please find certificate number this, dated this, for Kenya shillings 2,013,000, only payable to Competency Group Limited. The certificate is to be paid as follows. And they detailed, and the total amount. So I approved this for finance to pay. So there was a committee that assesses and gives up. I think, Chair, maybe the point of, I have to use my word, the point of difference is when we desired now to have a pantry and an office, 2 buildings on the site. So I submit that that's what then caused the variation. But according to the documentation, no payments were done beyond the 4 million.
But Prof, we have agreed that no payment was done beyond 4 million. But the 4 million you paid was 92%. Okay? Work done was 60%. Are we together? So the auditor is talking about the original contract. They did. Yeah, honorable members, Honorable Ruto applied to be enjoined as amicus, a friend of the committee. And Honorable Ruto, introduce yourself, and I hope you'll abide by the rules of being amicus.
Thank you, Chair. I'm CPA Ruto, Member of Parliament, Kases constituency, where the institution Moi University is situated. And I did follow the proceedings of this committee, and I requested that also, being a representative of the people, I get acquainted of what is happening. And as a Member of Parliament, I know the rules. Thank you.
You admitted, but you know you will not say anything. You can see everything, you can hear everything.
Thank you.
But you can't say anything.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Prof,
Yes,
what you are introducing on the variation were not done. We are talking about the original contract as it were for the gate, that you paid when work was not done.
And that, Chairman, where I was coming in,
Yes.
you allow me. Prof, you can just enlighten this committee of the extent of work done by the time you are paying, because there must have been an initial contract before you came to variation. The initial contract, was it met by the time you are paying before you came of thinking of doing some variations to put up, paint the house, and that extra house you are talking about? That initial contract, which was talking of the gates, was it honored to the dot? That's the question.
Thank you, through the chair, honorable members. That's why I needed the documentation of this process, so that I can go through and see why. Because I do not see a payment being done if the works were not completed. So I submit, Chair, that I have insufficient documents to carry my argument forward.
The committee directs that you provide Professor Ayiro with all the documentation related to this. Honorable members, we are scheduled to have a joint meeting between ourselves and the Committee of Lands in Moi University. I think it would be appropriate that when we are going on over the issues of land, we will be able to see these things physically and then make a determination of the same. Unless very necessary, Honorable.
Very necessary, Chair. You say the gate has been abandoned, so I presume there is a new gate, Professor Koske. 24 million.
There's a new gate.
So 5 times the famous Ayiro gate. And lastly, just to add on what the chair mentioned initially, if you kept to the law of not exceeding the set limit of variations, by going out and asking for new tenders, we wouldn't have been where we are. It would have been considered as a separate job and will not be where we are. Thank you, Chair.
So Professor Koske, provide every documentation to Professor Ayiro latest Monday.
We'll do that, sir.
So that now we handle that issue on the ground. But Professor, why did you change location of the gate?
The location.
And at how much?
Honorable Chair, when we were crumbling this idea of the gate, this one which was abandoned, then we realized it was outside. 80% of it was outside.
Who abandoned it?
Me and the council.
So why did you abandon it?
We abandoned it, Chair, because we received information or a letter from Kera saying the gate was on the highway. And we have a map, evidence document.
Did you listen to Professor Ayiro responding to that question?
Yes, I listened.
Is it true that the dreamers and founders of the university, that is where they envisaged, that was there when the initial gate was?
May I request?
No, Prof, just yes or no?
No. Because the original gate is still there. This one is slightly away from that one.
How far away?
Maybe about 10 meters.
Okay, at how much?
The new gate?
Yes.
Yeah, at 24 million, and we have documentation fully.
Professor?
Yes.
You are down on financial issues as a university. You need to practice austerity measures very seriously, more than anyone else. Why couldn't you just complete the gate that Professor Ayiro had started? Ekera is a government institution.
Thank you, Honorable
And
Chair.
if the initial gate was 4-point-something million, why do you go to 24 million, Professor?
Honorable Chair, there are 2 aspects to this. One, the 4.8 was not going to complete that gate. As you are told by the auditor, it was supposed to take, the level it is 60%. The valuation that was done by the internal architect who was designing the gate was 12 million. The works done by public works brought it to 9.9 million. The gate that we have is more comprehensive, and what we were looking at is the face of the university, as Professor Ayiro has put it. So it is almost twice.
Do you have the Kera documents to show that it's on the road?
Yeah, we have it, sir.
Yeah, give Honorable Malimu. Malimu, you check through them. But Professor, why 24? You know 24 million are 2 houses. Yeah.
We did everything as per the queue, Chair.
A gate?
Yes. And when you come down...
Any technical officer in your team?
Yes.
Any technical officer who was on this project? Yes, sir.
Kipkula is there.
To what extent were you technical?
I did building economics. So, and I'm a senior maintenance officer in the university.
So,
yes.
24 million?
Yes, there's the aspect of the gates. There are cab rows, which are walkways, which are almost 100 meters long. There are security lights. There is a wall. There was the drainage to support the gate. There was ICT. There was CCTV cameras. which are part of the project. Unlike now, the initial one, which was only the gates and the security guards also.
Do you have the PQs?
Yes, we have. We didn't come with it, but we have them.
How can you not come with them and it's a subject of, yeah. Prof, there's something wrong with your documentation. Earlier on, you had to take us through this. The other time, we had to go through this. It's 2 months now.
Honorable Chair, with your permission, we focused on the query that was there, the earlier gate. But
we ruled, this committee ruled that when you have a query, you come holistic. Yes, Honorable.
Chair, is not only documentation. There is the Ayiro gate, Professor Ayiro's gate, which with a 33% variation was to bring us to 6.2 million.
9.2.
9.2, right?
Yeah.
Because the initial figure was what, 4.7. In any case, 9.2. Now there is the, I think, Golden Gate, the Professor Koskei gate, which must be a golden gate that costed 24 million. Are you trying to say the technical focal point that in what the earlier Vice Chancellor was putting in place, there are no cabros, there were no simple cameras? What will camera cost? It's just the wiring, and I'm sure the cabros were there, right? It was part of the part of the plan. Because what we see in the reign of Professor Kosgei, documentation is poor. There is over expenditure. There is this case of give me 5 minutes, let me, you know, Professor, you're not in touch. You're not in control as the driver of this institution. And it comes up on every case that comes up. What is the problem?
Thank you. With great
Prof,
honor.
what Honorable Member is saying, there were 2 aspects added on Professor Ayiro's gate. Allow us to call it that way for the sake of this meeting. There was a pantry and there was an office. Still, that was still just in less than 10 million. Does this get, do you have these 2 things, 2 aspects? Justice. Pass it round. Do you have those aspects?
Yeah, we do. We even have a cell. We have.
Do you have an office?
We have 2 offices. Yes.
Pantry?
Yes, we do. Washrooms, CCTV. We have street lights. We have cabros. We have a wall.
Honorable members, let's exhaust this when we see it, because we are going there.
So I think the best would be if we are there, we get there and then we see exactly what is happening, what is on the ground, and with the documentation, Chair.
Prof, there is a concern that students are taking 1 year to graduate. Why?
Honorable Chair, we have 2 groups, stroke 20 and stroke 2021. So there's a group that finished in December 2021, and those are the ones who have delayed, the only group that has delayed. Reason being, they finished their exams, and then first thing Senate said, we are going to have only 1 graduation. Number 2, they were accelerated group. Number 3, we normally do our external examinations moderation in June. So that's why there's that delay. But it is the only group that has delayed.
Professor Ayiro, we may release you.
Yeah, sure.
You get documents and then be prepared. We'll tell you the day we are going so that you can join us there.
Thank you, Chairman and the committee. I appreciate the interrogation. This institution is important to us, the National Parliament. Any Kenyan of goodwill center of cohesiveness for our country. So I was glad to come, and I'm glad we have had this information. Just to let the committee know. And me and Professor Koske, we sit on many committees. He's my chair in Kenneth.
What is Kenneth?
Kenneth is a Kenya network, the one that supplies fiber optics across universities in Kenya and research institutions, and I'm the chairman of the audit committee. So there's no bad blood between us. Thank you. Thank you.
Asante.
Just for your info,
yes,
that from one of the persons that we support from the constituency, the gate is completed, yes, but they have got many buses, and those buses cannot go through because of the design. But I guess we'll see it when we get there.
May I clarify that, Chair? No, because we have buses that come into the university.
That is what I want to clarify about the drivers.
The only thing, Chair.
I'm sorry, Chair, but you want to clarify about the drivers and the buses?
No, the only thing, Chair.
Don't answer that. We will see it when we come. Yeah. No, I have a duty to protect my clients. We have another question, honorable members, to the
Chair,
the council.
Chair, before you conclude, I wanted to ask when they come next week, we need to have all the tender documents and contracts.
We are going.
Oh, we are going there.
Our committee.
But they should prepare.
Yeah.
All the documents.
Yes. That's valid. Professor, we will not excuse you on issues of documentation. Chairman, now you can see how your professor performs.
We will not let you down.
Right? Give us an explanation as the council regarding
HR.
There were 24.
There are 24.
And progressively, you've dealt with 12.
12.
And 21, 22, 23, 24. 4 years coming to an end. Why didn't you just deal with them?
Chair, by the way, like end of 2023, we had advertised for CFO, we had advertised for another position, but they were non-responsive. Non-responsive in this sense, there were a lot of questions coming in when we were doing the interview regarding the credibility and integrity and so on. And the council was forced to suspend until they were able to find out, because of public participation and so on, to find out exactly what is wrong with these candidates. Yeah?
Chair.
Just a minute, Honorable Gagai.
Chair, Dr. Juguna.
Yes.
Dr. Juguna.
That's true.
You are misleading this committee. You should come out and say the university has a bad reputation. If you're not from the area, your position is political. But for the local staff, we can run a sample from the front desk you're seeing, and you'll see when you advertise positions, they don't attract anybody outside that region. So for you to say that there are issues and questions, and you're not really convincing us. And secondly, do you have positions that have been acting for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years? You have, right?
Position 10 years?
Yes.
I can only talk for the time I have been there.
CFO.
To be fair.
CFO. You've been acting for how long? Your third month. Procurement person? You've been acting for how long? Third year acting. Now, what does the labor law say? Any extension beyond 365 and a quarter days, that person should be absorbed automatically. The Kenyan Constitution, the International Labor Law Organization says that. So we need to find a solution by speaking the truth and directing your team plus the Vice Chancellor to be fair, because this country belongs to all of us. Because if you have an institution that is closed, you're not able to look outside the operational area, then it becomes difficult. So for us to address these issues, let's be really open about it. And number two, apart from the salary figure, which is tied at 480 million monthly salaries, how many staff do you have? And have you done a head count to ensure that you don't have ghost workers? Because you've not been there long enough. But you've been the chair there, I think, for 3-4 years. Have you done a head count to know that? Because how would you be paying 480 million monthly?
48.
Huh?
408 million.
408 million.
Yeah.
But it's still a lot of money.
Yes.
And yet, you're not even probably paying that salary on time. There are a lot of strikes. You know, what exactly are we doing?
Chair, a very good question.
Chair,
Just
I wish you allow me to answer.
Chairman, write it down.
Yes.
But I would beg that, you know you're my friend.
Yes.
I needed to declare interest that you're my friend. So in the same spirit, I want to ask you to remove the hat of a politician. Okay? So it saves us time and just remain factual on the issues.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, Honorable Tongay.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I'm looking at the analysis of the status of acting positions, and the question that I want to ask the Chair is, these positions as they are stipulated here, when were they advertised? For how long have they been, the harmonization and all that? The second question, you've told us that it's public participation that you are doing. Chair, I'm wondering, how do you do public participation on recruitment? Because you say that you stop the process so that you do public participation. What kind of public participation are you going to do on that?
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Sigay, PC.
I want to ask this chair, through you, and the Vice Chancellor, when the last human resource audit was done, because we need to know. And how many members are there in the committee? The latest human resource audit.
And to add on that, do you have the ethnic breakdown composition of your staff?
Okay. Chair, can I answer? Thank you, honorable members.
Auditor, you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, honorable members. I would like this question of HR is very, very sensitive in Moi University, and I would wish you give me a chance I explain.
Briefly, we don't have lots of time.
Yes, yes, please.
I beseech you to remove the hat.
Yes, Chair.
Political hat.
But I beseech you, because I think this is the crux of the matter.
2 minutes.
Yeah. So, you realize from 2006 to 2015, Moi University was on an expansive program. And my colleague here, Professor Mibei, will bear me witness. We helped establish over 10 public universities. Karatina, Galisa, Masai Mara, Maseno, 10 public universities. That meant between 2006 and 2015, we had employed over 1,300 people to support that program. And when this parallel program collapsed, and this we have discussed even with local leaders, because HR is a very sensitive issue. When the program collapsed, so to speak, we continued carrying this burden to today. And there's a question, when you talk about austerity measures, when you talk about harmonization, there's a question even our stakeholders engagement. And I'm happy that the CPA, Mheshimiwa, is here. At that time, because of the weight the university had, we had 4 deputy vice chancellors, we had 4 registrars, so to speak, down the radar, even supportive staff.
Make your point, please.
Yes. Yeah?
Make your point.
So, there's a lot that we have achieved, and there's a lot that we have not achieved. Like the question that...
Point of order, Chairman. Can we have answers
Yes.
to what we're asking?
Yes.
Other than lectures, because when the chairman tells us that they established 10 campuses, 10 universities, is he telling us that each established university did not go with this stuff? It is still carried by more university? He should save us that agony because he has been singing it since the morning about the way they have established.
Chair.
They expanded, but after expansion, Karatina now stand on its own. And already standing on its own. He cannot have those excuses up to now. No.
Chair, it is a fact, even when the audit is
it's
done.
not an exchange. We just need to have order.
Yeah.
Chairman,
yes.
When you establish a university, say Karatina University, okay? Then you have staff, you employ staff. When you part ways, that is now an independent institution, it remains with the staff, right? You bring them back to
not really. Some said we are employees of Moi University, and we want to continue remaining employees of Moi University, and that's a fact because the HR.
But very quickly, Chairman, you need to have a policy on that because it is draining the university.
Yes.
You cannot have a wage bill of 400 million.
Yes.
You cannot. You cannot, Mr. Kosgei. You can't.
Sure.
Yeah, and because I don't want us to belabor in it a lot because it is a forensic audit issue.
Yes.
So, honorable members, I wish that we leave it there because we are coming to it to address it properly after the results of the...
But Chair.
Yes.
We will not see the number of staff. I think, Chair.
Stop. Chair?
Chair University, not Chair PIC. Chair University. Dr. Juguna.
Yes.
Stop the politics. If we have to help you, you have to be clear. Those simple questions. How many staff do you have in Moi University? Question 1. You have to answer that. 2, do you have among those, have you done an head count to know if they are ghost workers? That was my second question. So we just need answers. And thirdly, what jobs are these people doing? Those 3 questions. Not to take us round and round and round. Then we'll ask for supporting documents for that. Because when we come there, we can see the gate, we can see other things, but we won't see the whatever. Until you tell us, and when they are doing the forensic audit on the staffing, that is what we need to know. Because we link it to mandatory deductions, an example, NHIF, etc., to get to know that. But answer these 3 questions without taking us in circles.
Honorable members, may I guide this way? Honorable members. Honorable members.
I wanted to ask here, I have not been answered.
Yes.
About the last time human resource audit was done.
Well, Prof, I mean, Doctor, just
if I may,
just go to the point.
We have.
When was the last time?
I don't know when the last audit was done.
Okay.
But as at now, there is an ongoing audit. Yes. Okay. The other one, in terms of how many employees we have, VC.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair and members. We have 2,959 staff members, out of which 818 are lecturers, and the rest are admin and support. We also have the last audit that we did externally was 2016, done by KPMG, and then the last audit that we did internally was 2019, Honorable Chair. I think there was a pardon?
Do you have ghost workers?
We don't have. We don't.
Yeah, honorable
and
members.
Then the other question, Honorable Chair, was the ethnicity. We have a document here, document 11, showing the distribution of everybody.
Oh, thank you.
And where they come from.
Just to guide you, Chair, of the university, the committee made some rulings earlier in the day pertaining that HR group called what? PKF. I hope you understood. Okay?
Yes.
So when you talk of an audit going on,
yes,
we get scared.
We are with you.
You will not spend any single cent, public money, to pay consultants. Okay? Just live within the directives of our earlier rulings. So,
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would also want the chair to know, in this wage bill deficit, every month we have 168 million.
But I don't want to belabor, but Chairman.
Yes.
When you have people, you are starting universities, instead of being absorbed by those universities, you want to entertain them by saying they want to be employed by Moi, you will have that skyrocketing. Yeah, and that is your problem, by the way. And Chairman, as we said in the morning, someone will bear the cross of where Moi is going.
That's okay. And as a chair, I welcome the forensic audit, because the truth will be laid bare.
It is not in your space to welcome or not to welcome. There will be a forensic audit anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. So, honorable members, the Vice Chancellor supplied documents today, making it very difficult for the auditor, who are our main prosecutors, to go through the documents and then to help us, guide us through prosecuting the audit queries. So, we have dealt with the University Council, number 5. So number 1, 2, 3, and 4, we will deal with them on the ground when we come. Sawa, Chairman. Sawa, Professor. Yes, so that we make progress. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Auditor. Now we move to Karatina, Moi, and the National Bank of Kenya.
Thank you, Chair. We move to our reports for the year 2021. We have a paragraph under lawfulness to do with Government of Kenya loan. The statement of financial position reflects the GOK loan totaling to 231 million as at 30th June 2021. The loan agreement dated 24th April 2008 required Moi University to repay the loan in 10 years at an annual interest rate of 2.5%. The university used the proceeds of the loan to buy Kagochi Training Institute from KTDA to establish Karatina University campus. Records provided for audit indicated that the university, as Moi University, sought the government's consent to assign the loan to Karatina University. The records also indicated that the National Treasury in September 2021 wrote to Moi University seeking confirmation of the outstanding loan balance as at 30th June 2021. Management indicated that the National Treasury had approved the reassignment of the loan between Moi University and the Karatina University, and the subsidiary loan agreement had been signed, pursuant to which Moi University could repay the restructured loan in biannual installments for 10 years. However, records to confirm this assertion were not provided for audit. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Moi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As we put last time, we asked the ministry submitted our part of the loan agreement, and we were pursuing $249. But we've learned since morning, Honorable Chair, that Karatina have actually signed their part. and the VC can confirm that. It's only that the communication didn't come to us.
Just before the VC speaks, your part was?
41, sorry. Initially, it was, our part is 41,376,243 and 62 cents.
And the Karatina?
Karatina is 194. Sorry. Yeah, with interest, let me make a correction. With interest, Karatina is 216,389,088.
So where are you with your bid?
My bid now is the 41.
Where are you with? Have you paid?
Not yet, because we are still waiting for the agreement to come, and we received communication from the CS. The PS. There's a grant for us because of the already accepted institution.
Taking? Taking what? To take the loan as a grant?
Yes.
To write it off?
Basically.
Where are we headed, Wanavisi? That you take loans, you the finances, then you want the treasury to write off.
We didn't misuse Honorable Chair. In fact, the former VC is here. He'll tell you.
But it means you can't pay.
Yes, at the moment.
By the time the treasury wants to come in, it means you cannot pay and the institution is going down.
It is part of our pending bills, Chair. What we did was to pay the 18 million, which was very clear, the principal. The challenge came in when we wanted to now separate the two, so that Karatina does its bit and we do our bit.
Karatina?
Thank you, Honorable Chairman. The figure that has been indicated by the VC Mo University that was apportioned to Karatina University, 216 million, that is correct. That was arrived at after many meetings where we did the reconciliation and we signed an agreement between Karatina University and Mo University in 2016. We have documentation to that effect, Mr. Chairman.
But the VC said you haven't. Yes. You haven't signed.
Mr. Chairman, Mo University was not aware that we received communication from the Ministry of Education of the loan from the Treasury in 2022, March 2022. We signed and returned the same to the Treasury through the Ministry of Education, and we have documentation to that effect, Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chairman. However, we have not received communication back from the Ministry or from the Treasury.
So are you paying or you're not paying?
Mr. Chairman, Honorable Chairman, we have not started paying. For this reason, we have not received that signed loan by the Treasury. That is one, Mr. Chairman. In our letter returning the signed loan agreement to the Treasury, we requested that the same be waived. Honorable Chairman, Honorable Committee, for these two simple reasons. One, when Mo University bought the campus, it was to repay the loan using money generated by the campus because of the self-sponsored programs that time. We do not have those students. That is one, and therefore the income is very little, actually non-existent as we talk. Two, Mr. Chairman and Honorable Committee, all public institutions, none has been required is the premises on which it is established. So on that basis, took over this facility by way of the order of 2010. That is the point at which really this loan should have been waived off. So we have requested for waiver of that so that this public entity is not required to pay the premises on which it is established. Mr. Chairman, that is really our request up to this day.
Let me ask you, you bought this institution from whom?
Moi University bought the Tea Training Institute, on which it established its Central Kenya campus. That is what later...
Owned by?
It was owned by Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA.
But that's a national, that's a government institution, right?
It was private.
KTDA?
It is private.
Okay.
Chair. Thank you very much, Chair. Vice Chancellor Karatina.
Yes, Your Honor.
You took the documents back to the Ministry, Treasury 2000? No, 2022, right?
2022.
We are in 2024.
Yes, sir.
Now, where you sit, 2 years down the line, you've submitted this important document, and you've not followed up. Is that competency? Is that being competent enough from where you sit? And secondly, how comes that you cannot communicate with your peer who managed to come, initiate the process of buying the campus, that you've gone to Treasury and is completely unaware? And I'm sure there are forums where you meet as vice chancellors. And again, in both universities, you're teaching degrees in communication, effective communication.
Karatina, it's a situation where you have a son.
May I respond?
And the son gets to a point that he feels is man enough more than the father. Honestly, you owe an apology to Moi, to the Vice Chancellor of Moi University, for just not communicating.
Your Honor, that's not the position. We have worked with Moi University. We did all the reconciliations until we signed an agreement between ourselves and Moi University. And then from there now, the Treasury is the one that was to assign the loan that was due to Moi University, now assigned to Karatina University. Those communications were coming.
Okay, point of order.
I want to hear the Vice Chancellor Karatina telling us that at some point he informed his colleague that actually the agreement we signed, I would have taken to the Treasury. Did you at one point communicate with him?
There was no requirement for that communication, Chair and Honorable Committee. For this simple reason, if you could hear me, Moi University received communication from the Treasury through the Ministry directory. As a matter of fact,
VC Moi had a paper here. He has a document, a loan document, where he assigned one part, and the other part was waiting for you. Actually, the purpose of us calling you, it is because the VC is not able to explain why you can't sign. But I think from the CS presentation in the morning, it is now water under the bridge, because the CS of Education has written to Treasury that they convert that into a grant.
To be waived, Mr. Chairman.
That's what it means.
Yes, but the correct position, Mr. Chairman, is this. Moi University signed its part strictly because that was between the Treasury and Moi University. We were not aware about it until we received your invite here, Mr. Chairman. That is the same way that we received ours directly from the Treasury through the Ministry of Education. We did our part. And that is why Moi University was not aware of what we did. We also didn't know.
VC, thank you for coming. Karatina.
Before he goes,
because
I know we'll be meeting them again, are your salaries up to date, number one? Number two, the statutory deductions, are they up to date? And lastly, the pensioners, those who've retired from your institution.
Very quickly.
Number 4, how many students do you have? And number 5?
That has escaped you.
How are the finances of the university compared with other universities?
Are you afloat? Number 5.
Number 6.
Yes.
Is we want to know.
I have number 7.
What is the acreage of the land you have, and what is the money you get from internal revenue? on this.
Yes, but we see, I'm afraid you're not writing anywhere.
Chair, they are coming too fast. Thank you.
Someone is writing for you. We see, how many officers did you carry?
I have 4 others with me, so we are 5.
And they're earning, right?
Yes.
So they should do your work, make your work easier. So I can see Madam is writing.
Yes.
So number last.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is first to appreciate VC Karatina. She is doing a good job. But I think last 2 weeks, there were some issues in the institution. Students were complaining about overcharging in terms of accommodation outside the university. How did the students were recalled back? I have an interest because my niece is there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for declaring interest. So VC?
Thank you.
At least you are not a politician, so just go straight to the...
Thank you. Beginning with the last one, we have been engaging the ladrons in our neighborhood from even before the students had a confrontation with them. So we have continued that engagement. We had a meeting with them on Tuesday last week before we recalled the students, and we have reasonably addressed the issue of undue rent increases. We have been on it. That is the way it is, Mr. Chairman and Honorable Committee. The next question was acreage. We have 50 acres, Mr. Chairman. We have been trying all means possible to get a little more land for our development. Of the 50, about 15-20 acres are not favorable for development unless with very heavy cost, but we are trying, Mr. Chairman. The next one is...
Number of students?
The number of students, we have 11,500 as at now.
Any activities on your farm?
Yes, we have some tea farming and also some forest farming, Mr. Chairman.
How much does it give you annually?
The acreage for tea, now we get between 2 and 3 million. Reason, the acreage...
No, don't explain. Just
okay.
I'll stick to the questions.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So how much do you make annually?
From the tea, about 3 million Kenya shillings.
Any other money?
Yes, we do a lot of even conferencing facilities, and of course what the students pay, not necessarily from the government. Our budget this year, we are at about 2.7 billion, Mr. Chairman.
Are you afloat?
Very, very afloat, Mr. Chairman. Our salaries are up to date, pension and all statutory deductions up to date, fully paid, everything fully paid, Mr. Chairman.
Excellent.
Not owing anybody any.
Chairman, that's prudent management compared with the parents or the father who is a cripple and give birth to a noble, well articulated and intelligent child. So the father should then learn from the child.
Has aged, so you have to.
I think, honorable members, we need to recommend and commend Karatina University, and we will be passing a recommendation to the ministry. We need such managers of resources, and we will encourage all other universities.
To clear my interest first. Since I've heard that he's doing well, I can clear my interest. I was afraid of saying that the VC is my friend. We have grown up together. But now I'm proud to say that I'm associated with them.
So thank you so much.
Chair, do you allow the son to learn from the father?
No, the father, you see, it depends. You are a primary school teacher, but your students become professors. So you can go to learn, you go to learn from them. So when we see what we are saying, pull up your socks.
Thank you.
VC Moi.
We go learning, Chair. We don't actually have any barrier. Even recently we are in Kirinyaga.
No, we have no problem about that. So don't worry about that. Karatina, we encourage you.
Thank you, sir.
Please don't allow yourselves to go where your father university is. Don't. Because we are trying to figure out how to get Moi back to flotation. So thank you so much, and God bless you. Have we audited you?
Yes, you were at our place the other day, Mr. Chairman.
Who? That's the Auditor General.
Auditor General.
So you are coming, don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
We will confirm that. God bless you, and we are very happy about it.
Thank you. We are honored.
You may leave.
Committee, only that request to waive off that loan and Karatina University.
That will be done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. You may leave so that we engage your fathers.
Chair.
Yes, Professor.
I also beg to leave if I have no other.
We still have an issue, Prof.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Auditor, you remember the issue of money and fraud? Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Now we got to issue on irregular banking of students' fees into welfare accounts.
Just a minute. Ndugu wa miwani, enda nyuma, MD kuja hapa mbele. No, mbele hapa mbele. Yes, MD National Bank. Yes, Auditor, please prosecute.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are talking of an irregular banking of student fees into welfare accounts. The reported cash and cash balances excluded checks payable to Moi University received in Nairobi campus totaling to Kenya shillings 7,727,190, which were not banked in the university's bank accounts, but were instead irregularly banked in the Moi University staff welfare accounts. Thank you, Chair.
Moi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. What the auditor said is true, and this happened in 2018. And when we realized
Was it your time?
It was my time.
Oh, then we can release Professor Ayiro. Professor Mivei. Prof, it is never a wish to disturb you from your retirement, but we've got to do what we've got to do. Public interest. So thank you for coming. And what are you doing currently?
I'm actually at the moment doing my own private things, and I'm also an emeritus professor at the University of Nairobi, where I help in innovations to professors and students who are doing research to commercialize their research findings. Yeah.
So thank you. We wish you well in your endeavors. And thank you for the good years you put in for our country. We're always proud of you. Asante, Sanjay.
Chair, with your permission, Prof, I'll be looking for you. I'm a doctorate student on innovation and entrepreneurship, so I'll be looking for you.
I'll be very, very happy to receive you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Yeah.
So thank you, Honorable Chair and members. So we discovered there was theft and unlawful handling of our checks by our staff members, where they were banking largely the CDF money into what we call the Nairobi Campus Welfare Account, held at NBK. And when we discovered, then we reported to the anti-fraud police. We have an OP number on the document 6.6, Honorable Chair, and also had an engagement with the bank with a view to...
So they were banking and removing?
Yeah, they were banking and removing.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, how were they succeeding? How did they succeed to remove this money?
What happened is, and my colleague from the bank will tell us this, they were colluding with the bank employees. So they would bank the money in that welfare account and then quickly, as I said, go withdraw it. And we want to
Mr. National Bank. A bank is a very sensitive institution. Furthermore, a bank belonging to the government.
Thank you, Chairman and honorable members. Let me just make a point on how this happened. In early 2018, around March, the university staff welfare account signatory, one Caroline, reported to the bank that her signature was forged. So in the process of investigating that complaint, the bank noted that checks that were due for Moi University Nairobi campus account were banked into Moi University Nairobi welfare account.
How?
Through a counter check deposit.
Is that possible? That a check written Moi University can be banked to Moi University welfare, Nairobi campus? Is that
Chair, just allow me to take it again slowly. The Moi University Nairobi campus account was the account due to receive the checks. Moi University.
But they banked into the welfare.
They banked it into account by the name Moi University Nairobi campus welfare account. So there's the word welfare before the last.
Now, MD.
Yes, Chair.
You know, we don't want you to give a long narration. We just knock off bit by bit. Why would you allow your officers, not once, not twice, not thrice? A bank should have a system, okay, of regulating itself against such, that a check belonging to Nairobi, Moi University Nairobi campus is banked into the welfare, and you don't detect that. That's dangerous even to your customers. How?
Chair, that is an irregularity, and if we proceed with the conversation, we'll come to the point on the actions the bank took.
It gets scary that I'm a customer of National Bank of Kenya. My name is Wanami Wambuka. But my check, I've written a check is supposed to come to my account, but then it goes to the account of Kirima. What are you speaking to your customers? Are they safe? Is their money safe? Before you get to disciplining these people, doesn't it scare you? That checks in a different name or bank in a different name continuously, not once, not twice.
Chair, may I respond?
Yes.
As it respond,
yes.
Since we have been known in the, as we respond, Chairman, as through you, Chairman, as it responds, since we have been known dealing with banks for quite a long period, even before the changes which took place as it is now. Are you saying that there is saving clerk at the bank can receive a check with a different name, and even if one name resembles the name of the account, there are additional names in that check. Maybe the account has only, as it is now, in my names here you can see it, Moses Kirima Nguchine. And then it is written Moses Kirima Nguchine Tanui, Zambia. And the bank continues to receive the same.
Through the chair, allow me to make a clarification. All these checks were written Pei Moi University. The intention of the writers of these checks subsequently after investigation, they were supposed to go to Moi University Nairobi campus account. None of these checks had a third name. They were all written Moi University. The accountant at Moi University did choose to bank these checks at Moi University Nairobi campus welfare account. So it's not that these checks had those full names, Chair.
Let me ask you. You know, you're not answering our concerns. You have a check written Moi University. Of course, you are supposed to bank it in Moi University account. Unless it is written welfare. You know, if Moi University check is banked in welfare account, then that's the fraud we're talking about. Yes.
Because even now I run my farm. I have a farm called Many and Claim Advocates. If I have another account, which means Many and Krima Housing Project account, are you saying the checks which comes in the name of Many and Krima Advocates should be going to that one of housing account, something like that?
Through the chair, no. I already mentioned that is an irregularity for a check to be banked into an account that has got differing names.
Now, another point of concern, I'm looking at your checks. The account is called Moi University Nairobi campus, right?
Yes, Chair.
Why would you receive checks written Moi University?
Chair, those are the gaps in terms of the receiving person in terms when the payments are being made. These checks were banked by an accountant.
Managing Director, by the way, this session is live.
Thank you, Chair.
You are speaking to your customers.
Thank you, Chair, for letting me know.
You are speaking to your customers in the entire country. Are you telling these customers that tomorrow someone will come to the bank with a check and bank in a different name, and because that is supposed to be an employee error, it is okay?
Chair, that is not okay. I mentioned at the start is an irregularity.
How long did it take you to notice this irregularity other than the auditor's query which came up? Were you aware of the same, or it's just it happened that you came to know about it when the auditor's query came in. And when you came to know about it, how did you address it before the university intervened, possibly to tell you that there are some been irregularities and someone has been stopped, or someone has been suspended, or something like that?
Yeah, even leave alone the name of the account. The accounting number is supposed to be different. Leave alone the number. I mean, leave alone the name of the account.
MD, you are not making sense. A bank is a sensitive institution. Very sensitive. And a bank survives on credibility. Okay? What the member is saying, different names have different bank accounts, account numbers, right? It just does not make sense. Yes, Honorable Maurice.
Thank you, Chair. Head of Finance, Moi University. Were you there when all this was happening? Had you joined the institution?
Yes, I was there, but in another capacity.
Who was there? Who was the person managing the accounts? Who was in the office that time? Where is he? What?
What?
So he moved the trouble to the other side. Now, back to the...
No, Honorable Member, just, this is critical. Give us the details of that officer.
It's called who you said take the mic?
Mr. George Aduda.
Aduda.
So, clerk, get the details. Yeah, we would like to follow up on that.
My second one, CEO, I didn't get your name properly.
Through the chair, my name is George Odhiambo, Managing Director, National Bank of Kenya.
Okay. What is the difference between welfare and tuition?
I'm not a linguist, but I would say welfare relates to a group of people with common interests who've come together for a particular purpose and have objectives set to achieve. Tuition would be a charge levied on services related to education.
Now, in your bank, I'll give you an example from the CDF perspective. When a check is given to a student to Moi University, there is a covering letter. It can be several students, it can be one, with the ID number and the account number to be deposited in. And we expect that once the university or the TVET or the institution received it, they make a receipt and bring it back. Now, in your institution, when you've been receiving checks from clients, like let's say Moi University, did you have a covering letter telling you that these checks should be deposited in this particular account? And of course, in any bank process, you also need some time, even if there's no later, there is a bank account written on the back. Has that been, is that the case, or yours is a very unique bank?
Through the chair, these checks do not come with a schedule to the bank. What they come with is a check with account number on the back of the check written by the person banking the check. So that account number is on the back of the check. The account of the welfare and the tuition account have different account numbers.
Were you in the institution when this was happening?
I was not in National Bank of Kenya, but I was in KCB Group because National Bank of Kenya became part of KCB Group in 2019. This time, National Bank had not become part of KCB Group.
Now, if we say that it takes two to tango, someone within your organization and at Moi University colluded to try and do what they did, will we be misleading? Or according to you, because you know this has been an issue, what is your conclusion? Do you think that it was an inside game?
Before we reach into the conclusion, there's one thing we want to address here. That it was not just an employee. For you to do such a fraud in the bank, it is a syndicate. You need several people, including the bank manager. Because I believe at the end of the day, you do bank reconciliation. Yeah, if at the end of the day, a bank manager has to do reconciliation. Okay? Reconciliation. And on such big accounts of institutions, there must be in check with them. Yeah, maybe every day evening or the next day morning, you must, as an accounting officer, you must know how your officers must know how the accounts are performing, right? Yeah, because they receive huge amounts of money every other day. Yeah, so it is not just an...
To add on that, how would you take, when I ask you those questions intentionally between welfare and tuition, how do you take a check that is meant for a public institution and you just put it from tuition account, it's put in the welfare? So that officer or the officers who were there that time, are they still there or they've gone?
Chair, just to cycle back, the branch manager may not necessarily know what check was banked. Checks are banked and they are batched and they are taken to clearing house, which are away from that branch. Just to come to the honorable member's question, putting a check name on the institution's payee into a welfare account is irregular. And I'd say that was a lapse, and the bank has procedures on accepting checks into accounts that involve verification of the account name, the payee name, the amount, signature, and other details. So that lapse is treated through procedures, through the training and disciplinary processes where lapses do occur.
How do you retrain a fraudster? By an MD. And when I go to the bank to bank a check, this check is put in like a thing that reads it electronically. Is it true?
Yes, there's an electronic reader for checks.
Yes. So what is that supposed to help?
It's supposed to verify that the check paper is genuine check, is not a counterfeit.
Okay, how do you retrain a fraudster?
We do not...
I hope that didn't come from you.
Chair, these checks were not banked through an individual, a single person. Majority of them, granted, were banked in one branch. 2 tellers handled them, but a number of them were also banked in several other places. So
banking and withdrawing. They were withdrawing this money.
These checks were
and that is why the bank took in liability. And you see our issue with the university, once the bank admits liability, you don't end it there. There is restitution.
Chair, let me put it this way. Allow me to change gears a bit. Professor Kosgei, on a monthly basis, a banking institution receives what we call bank reconciliations, or even daily or weekly or something. How comes it took you this long to detect this misnomer? How comes? Because there is those feedback and CEO that you normally do, right? You run reports to your major clients like Moi University. And if you are running those reports, how comes, Professor, on your side, you are not able to find out there's this money that is going on the welfare account and supposed to be school fee? You should have been able to capture it.
In fact, you should have a relationship manager.
Chair.
Yes, Honorable Krima.
Chair, mine is just to ask the bank manager, the professor.
No, he's the MD.
The MD.
Bank manager is a very small person in the bank.
The MD.
This is the overall man in National Bank of Kenya.
Sorry for and deposited and what transpired. I have not heard you telling us that somebody has been charged in a criminal court, in a court of law, because of perpetuating fraud. Either whereby one has been charged, sentenced, and surcharged for the fraudulent action which was perpetuated. Especially if it comes to your cracks, the ones who used to receive these checks, because you see, when it comes to receiving a check, there must be a crack. Who received, stamped, and issued a receipt of the same. Because that's a procedure to show that you have banked. All those, as we are talking, is that we are hearing that somebody has been transferred to another institution to continue perpetuating the same fraud. That's a university, on the part of the university. What about your side? Maybe the university, as it is.
Through the chair.
Before you answer, as through the university, on the part of the university, when you see the VC just suspend somebody who has spawned public money, banking, and then they're only later withdrawing through another door, and you hear that somebody has just been suspended, it means connivance. Parties have been conniving, and there must be so much knowledge about it. That's why they thought that the only solution is to transfer and not to punish or to charge. So how can you address us on that one, FD?
Through the chair, thank you so much, Honorable Kirima, for the question. May I also request that when you ask me a question, I'm allowed to answer. I would have answered all those by now.
Sometimes in MD, sometimes you take.
I've taken notes and I want to answer
Honorable members. One MD, you don't create your own rules here.
Yes, there are rules in this house.
When a member asks a question or questions, please note them down. It is not in your space to decide how many you want to answer at a time or how many you don't want to answer.
Chair, is a misunderstanding. I've noted all the questions. What I'm trying to raise
Don't worry, continue noting.
I need to answer questions when I'm allowed to answer.
You will allow you to answer them.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Honorable PC?
Chair, I wanted to ask the VC whether at any given time your internal auditors were able to detect this anomaly when there was a problem, and whether it was brought to your attention.
Yes, Mwalimu teacher. Thank you, Chair. I also want to know from the CEO the total amount of money which was misallocated. And also, the word is not misallocated. They fraudulently diverted the money.
Okay.
Yeah. Knowingly and fraudulently. Please, and I also want to know, being the CEO is supposed to be receiving reports at certain times. So what kind of reports were they discussing apart from this? And I also want to know the action. I want to know the action the CEO took on the staff concerned. Yes, Honorable, okay?
And Chair, to get even deeper into it, it will be interesting to pick that account and look at the activities. Like the deposits, how frequent were they being withdrawn? You just look at the account activities, because it will say a lot. And that you expect that sitting on the Moi University side, in the account, you're able to detect why is it now money all of a sudden has been diverted to this account of welfare, and how comes again the withdrawals are very high. So we'll also request through your chair that that information is availed for analysis.
And lastly, Bwana MD, assuming I have a personal account with you, and this kind of thing happens, I take you to court as a bank. Okay? Generally, because you've dealt with such issues, and you've admitted liability, and that is why you went ahead and paid back the money. Am I not supposed to be, the court will direct that the bank pays me? Yes, am I not supposed to be compensated? Now, on the part of the Moi University, why didn't you pursue this matter? Or you sat and had a domestic arrangement between yourselves so that you end the matter there, that National Bank just returned the money silently, and that's what they did, and Bwana VC, proudly, that's what you told us. No, there's no money lost, they just returned the money. No. So let's start with the VC. I'm sure you have a couple of questions.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Indeed, we do our reconciliations every month. And this took place between 30th May 2018 to September. So what struck us as a university was these outstanding checks. So we queried, why are they outstanding for that long? So that's what now when we dug in and we realized, we went to the bank and we realized they were not actually anywhere in the account of the university. So subsequently, Honorable Chair, we reported to the anti-fraud units, and I think we were frustrated a little bit because we were trying to get communication from the MD, and there was a lot of, not the current MD, and there was a lot of sort of cover-up. I would want to say almost something like that. So they agreed to come after we wrote to them on the 28th of 28th, on the 15th, not the 28th, and then 11th of 2018, and then again 2019 subsequently. So they came. They preferred to come all the way to the university, and we had a discussion. But we said to ourselves, let's report this thing, which we reported on the 15th of January, because we were not getting any good direction. And we listed all the checks and indicated that our staff who were involved. There were quite a number of them were Arkinoti Beninajeri, Chris Mwende, and Edward Natekwa. So when we had the discussion with the MD, then we told them it's their responsibility to take care of our money, because they were saying we share, not a loss. But we say we stood and said, sorry, they were indicating we share the loss.
They said it was whose responsibility?
They said because
it was the institution's responsibility to take care of the money in the bank.
No, the involvement of our people and their people. But we say as a university, no, they are supposed to be our client. I mean, we are their clients, and our money is supposed to be safe. So we gave a notice on the 5th of February 2020 and demanded the money back. And that's when they took a step and reversed the money to our account.
Why didn't you proceed to court to sue?
Well,
because you know, Banavisi, this is not your private institution. You're just a trustee of the public, right? Of public interest. Now, why didn't you sue National Bank? Why have you not taken them to court? Yeah, for damages.
Maybe that's something we didn't think of, Honorable Chair, honestly. Yeah.
No, let's allow the MD, because he has so many questions until he was complaining.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Thank you, honorable members. Some of the questions have been answered by the VC, how the detection was made. They discovered they had so many outstanding checks that were not cleared. And when they checked with us, and our internal investigation revealed those checks written to Moi University were cleared in the welfare account, and withdrawals were also made in various tranches, not identical in the number of checks and the amounts. The withdrawals were less than the deposits, but they were significantly more than the deposits. The total checks value 65 of them, value 7,727,190, but withdrawals were 8.4 million in that welfare account, meaning that the people who withdrew that money took even part of the welfare account. And after the discovery of this and the involvement of Banking Fraud Investigation Department, there was someone who was arrested, where David Michael Mukoy, as a mastermind of this fraud or deviation of checks to other accounts and subsequent withdrawal. This was charged in court in October 2018, 5th of October 2018, and our witnesses, this person was released on bail of 2 million. Subsequently, he later jumped bail, and I think a warrant of arrest was issued. So that was the person who was charged in court. You did ask also the total which I've mentioned again.
So what is the status of the case?
The case is still outstanding. The case is still not resolved. On the demand of the university on making the reimbursement,
When did you, no, let's deal with the case. When did you last, MD, when did you lastly found the status of the case? Because when you say that it jumped in bill of 2 million.
Yes.
You know, there must have been the one who issued security.
Who was Michael Mukoi? Was he part of your bank or part of the university? Or if not, who did he mention?
No, honorable members. I think the managing director of National Bank is not telling us the truth.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to the case,
because the managing director has told us in his submission that the criminal matter above was withdrawn under section 87A of CPC by the prosecution after the accused person abandoned court and a warrant arrest was issued. Please explain to us what that means.
Chair, I need to restate that one, that there was a case instituted against Were David Michael Mukoi on 5th of October 2018. He was released on bail of 2 million. Subsequently, he jumped bail and the case was